All right, I'm going to show you how to remove your paper mache object from its cast here, or from its mold, rather. I'm doing that from the front. I hope that that will be an okay way to do it, because I just feel like maybe seeing how my hands work might be useful to you in this moment. Okay, this one, as you can see, is pretty much totally dry. Okay, it's pretty crispy back there along the edges. Okay, this one's still wet. Okay, so I'm not messing with that. I could take a blow dryer on something small like this, but you can't generally use a blow dryer on paper because it can cause it to bubble up. But because this is so small, you would have a pretty even heat over the whole thing. You don't want to do something that we do with water-based clay. Sometimes we'll actually pop these in the oven on a low temp, like 170, that warm temp, but the oil-based clay will actually melt at that temperature. Okay, so you don't want to do that to speed up your drying process. And this has taken a couple days to dry. Okay, so you've got your form. The other thing that you need from your tool supplies, from your scene shop box, is your box cutter, okay, or your utility knife. All right, I'm going to show you a way to use a utility knife that just sort of increases its effectiveness and its safety, okay? To get this off of here, I'm not going to be able to just sort of pull it and pop it off because it is sort of an odd shape and it's sort of underneath, it's sort of holding on to the item. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out some places where I can safely split it to get it off, and then I'll patch that up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to split it like alongside here between its little pointy arms, and then maybe up here. And if I have to, I can split it down here as well. Okay, so using your utility knife for this process, you never want to sort of cut towards yourself. You don't want to get your thumb in front of the blade. And there's a pretty straightforward way to keep yourself from doing that, if I can get into a position here where I can demo it. So I'm going to turn the blade away from me, okay, and toward my tabletop, which I don't really care if I push into it too much. I'm going to put the point of the blade into my item, okay? And then rather than pulling on the blade or pushing on it, I'm going to take my thumb and I'm sort of, if you can see how my hand is, it's just sort of laying gently on the table. And this is your dominant hand, whichever hand is your dominant hand. If you're left-handed, you would have your hand like this, right? I am not left-handed, so that's going to feel really awkward to me. So I am right-handed, and so I'm going to put my right hand on the blade like that, okay? I'm going to keep all of my appendages away from in front of the blade, and then with my thumb, I'm going to push the back of the blade, okay? I'm going to push it down like that, okay? And get a cut there. All right. Then I'm going to do the same on this side. Push the blade. Okay. Another thing, you want to make sure that you're working with a good sharp blade. I probably could have used a sharper blade. Paper is a little tough to cut. And a dull blade means you're going to push harder and have more risk of injury. Okay? My apologies, I'm having a hard time. Okay, that side. And one last cut. I'm going to see if that'll give me enough here. Okay. All right. Okay, so Paper is tougher than you think it is, and like I said, this blade is probably not as sharp as it should be for this process. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just going back and sort of making sure that I am through all of the okay. All right. Now what that lets me do is it lets me sort of free this up. Again, as I was saying in class, I kind of wish I had put another layer or so on this guy, because I could have pulled a little firmer as I'm getting him out of here. But may also give me the opportunity to show you how to clean him up. Go ahead and pull one of his appendages off of him here. Okay. You can see I've got him worked back. Again, it's just patiently. I'm not going to fast forward this in the video so that you can see that this just takes time and work to pop this out of here. Part of the deal is that my water layer was not impervious to the glue. All right. Okay, now you're looking at this and going, oh no, all is lost, but is not lost. Okay. All right, so your next step in this process is to come around to the inside of your figure. Okay, and we're going to glue him up again. Okay, so whoop. Okay, there he is. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take your glue and water combo right here. I'm sorry, I'm making you like see me in all kinds of doubles there because you're looking at my remote controller. Okay, then you're going to come in. This is easier if you have a little bit of if you have a brush to do this with, but I'm going to demo using my fingers just in case you don't have a brush at home that you want to get paper mache-y. Okay, your bits of clay that are in there, you can either clean them up or you can just glue over the top of those bits of clay. Okay. I'm going to decide to use these bits of paper here for my inside. And basically, you know, I'm not going to see this inside. The only thing I need for the inside to be is strong. Okay? So this is more of a strengthening exercise than a cleaning up exercise. The other thing about this small thing is that it's not going to go on anybody's face. If I were making a mask and the inside of this were going to go on a performer's face, I would be a lot fussier about this than what I'm being right now. This is not going to go on anything but maybe your puppet or maybe the wall or the facade of your box. So you don't have to be fussy about it either. Do you see how I'm just sort of working a piece of paper over top of that split that I had in there? And again, just gluing down the bits. And this, I'm even going to come up and go around that because I can also come back in and use some different paper on that there too. This one actually isn't bad. I think I'm just going to put some more paper over it, more of the crepe paper on it. Just like that. Lay more of the crepe paper there. There we go. All right, I'm going to let this dry now, and then we'll come back to it and see if there's more work we want to do on it once it dries. Okay, I'm going to, because it's pretty, and there's not a lot of glue right here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my clay as a place for it to rest on, and I'm going to sort of balance it like that while it dries. Now, that's not to say I'm probably going to come back into this and clean it up a little more on the inside, and then maybe look at putting another layer of decorative paper on the outside of it. Okay, but it's pretty okay. Okay, great. Again, I'm not going to speed this video up. I think you need to see how much time it takes to work that off of there. And that was me doing this, and I have experience working with this. So just know that it's going to take you some time. You're going to have to be patient. You might have to make some other cuts, but it will happen. You just have to have faith. Okay? Great.